Our Earth is the only known planet in the universe to have life forms. Since its creation, this planet has undergone many catastrophic changes, leading to major geological and climatic changes. As a result, large tracts of forest have turned into barren iceland, ocean beds into lofty mountains, and thriving biological species have become extinct in the course of evolution. However, in recent days, due to man's interference with nature, irreversible changes are taking place in our biosphere, and life on our planet is at risk like never before. The insatiable thirst for progress and comfort has forced the human race to recklessly tap all available resources on the earth for food, energy and shelter, thus resulting in a dire consequence on our biosphere. Several questions need to be answered in this context. What are the different man-made and natural changes our planet has undergone ever since its creation? What are the environmental biotic and abiotic factors and how their interaction supports complex life processes? What is the extent of man's impact on the fragile ecosystem? What is the carrying capacity of the earth and whether have we reached its threshold value? What strategy scientists around the globe are planning to meet these challenges? An amount of solar energy reaching the earth is absorbed and the remaining amount of the heat radiates back to the atmosphere. Some of the heat is trapped by greenhouse gases, mostly carbon dioxide, which is released by various human activities like fossil fuel burning, deforestation, leading to a rapid increase in carbon dioxide emission. This is called global warming. Due to global warming, the global sea level is projected to rise by 9.88 centimeters by the year 2100. Some of the most vulnerable regions are the Nile Delta in Egypt, the Ganges-Brahmaputra Delta in Bangladesh, and many small islands, including the Marshall Islands and the Maldives. Ozone forms a gradual layer above the Earth's surface by the action of sunlight and oxygen. Ozone is highly poisonous at ground level and constitutes health hazard by causing respiratory ailments like asthma and bronchitis, also causing harm to vegetation. Ozone layer protects Earth from ultraviolet rays of the sun, but chlorofluorocarbons used as refrigerant or evolved on burning plastic or rubber pose a threat to the ozone layer. When coal, oil are burnt, sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxides are produced, forming harmful pollutants like sulfates, nitrates, sulfuric acid, etc. by reacting with water and air chemicals. These are then carried by air currents and spread upwards in the atmosphere and finally pour down as acid rain. The effect being widespread in China, Japan, Southeast Asia. The average temperature in many regions has been increasing in recent decades. Globally, 1998 was the warmest year and the 1990s the warmest decade on record. Many countries, situated mostly in the mid to high latitudes, have experienced increases in rainfall. The temperatures of the cities like Delhi, Chennai are increasing to its height. The heavy rainfall in Mumbai, Gujarat and Andhra Pradesh in the recent years adds to climate change. The Industrial Revolution in the 19th and 20th century saw the large-scale use of fossil fuels for industrial activities, thus creating jobs. As a result, over the years, people are moving from rural areas to the cities. Hence, more and more vegetative lands has been cleared for making houses, industries, transport and consumption, requiring an extensive use of natural resource consumerism. Thus, owing to the creation of mountains of wastes causing diseases like malaria in open garbages. Fossil fuels such as oil, coal and natural gas supply most of the energy needed to run vehicles, generate electricity for industries, households, etc. The energy sector is responsible for about 3/4 of the carbon dioxide emissions, 1/5 of the methane emissions, and a large quantity of nitrous oxide. It also produces nitrogen oxides and carbon monoxide, which are not greenhouse gases, but do have an influence on the chemical cycles in the atmosphere that produce or destroy greenhouse gases. These gases lead to respiratory ailments like asthma and bronchitis. The population has enormously grown in the recent past, where only a little space is left for the wildlife, putting extreme pressure on food production. In India, 1.17 billion people were estimated in July 2009, consisting of more than 1/6 of the world's population. Thus, the human civilization areas is enhancing by eradicating the agricultural lands, generating scarcity of food. Hence, it generates the need of high-yielding plants along with non-eco-friendly, more complex fertilizers, which once taken can cause several genetic diseases and when drained out in the water bodies can lead to the poisoning of the same, resulting in the sanctity of drinking water, causing waterborne diseases like cholera, typhoid, paratyphoid, hepatitis A, hepatitis E, poliomyelitis, gastroenteritis. At times, drinking water is found to have a high quantity of arsenic, leading to several skin diseases and sometimes even death. Deforestation, a contributor to global warming, is cited as one of the major causes of the enhanced greenhouse effect. Plants intake carbon dioxide and release oxygen. So planting more trees gives more oxygen for the breathing and healthy lifestyle for more lives. Deforestation increases soil erosion rates and also the runoff amount. Deforestation is destroying biodiversity. As forests nurture several medicinal plants like Bantulsi, Raktodron, Chautra, Rauwolfia, Varenda, which are becoming out of human reach. Forest also nurtures innumerable animal species, which is becoming a threat nowadays. In India, The forest area is reduced to only 19.27% of the whole surface area. The forest product industries are also at a threat for the illegal logging in the forests. West Africa, Madagascar, Southeast Asia and many other regions have experienced lower revenue due to declining of timber harvests. A species becomes extinct when the last existing member of that species dies. According to the fossil record, no species has yet proved immortal. A few, as 2 to 4% of the species that have ever lived are believed to survive today. The vast majority having disappeared long before human arrival on the earth. The 2004 IUCN Red List of Threatened Species tells us that the global extinction crisis is as bad or worse than we believed. Species already extinct globally are dodo, West African black rhino, Hawaiian crow, golden toad, Baiji dolphin. The endangered species are little brown bat, brown pelican, gopher tortoise, salmon-crested cockatoo. In India, the endangered animals are Indian wild ass, Asiatic lion, Asiatic black bear, Great Indian rhinoceros, flamingo, Indian or Asian elephant, snow leopard, leopard, tiger, woolly flying squirrel, Nilgiri thar, wild water buffalo, cheetal, nilgai, gharial, with a never-ending list. India is regarded as the home of tigers. But the disastrous impact of poaching and the destruction of the natural habitat of one of the planet's most threatened animals will be made clear tomorrow, when the Indian government is told that its remaining tiger population could be as low as 1300. Steps to overcome these problems: to minimize carbon emissions, switching over to renewable and non-polluting energy sources, use of biodegradable materials, switching over to green chemistry for industrial production, to protect the greenery and natural resources. Kyoto Protocol linked to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. The major feature of the Kyoto Protocol is to set binding targets for industrialized countries for reducing greenhouse gas emissions. Leaders of the world have recently met at Copenhagen to work out a suitable strategy to overcome the fast degradation of the environment. Humanity has no other option than to choose eco-friendly practices for its survival. We should plant trees and change our personal lifestyle to adopt energy-efficient methods. We should conserve and flourish rather than pollute and perish. Otherwise, life on our planet may become extinct, just like the dinosaurs of the bygone era.